So I've shared before how sometimes I'll literally, if I know somebody's playing in my face, I'll give them different parts of the story because sometimes depending on the person, depending on the individual, how much can they actually process? I'm also mindful, even if somebody's playing in my face or not, just sharing any part of my story that it's so what the fuck that most people, again, because of what we're being blasted with in the sky, what's in the food, the water, it's designed to make you just dull as a doornail, right? In the noodle. So I just try to, like my friend Nate says, spoon feed people to the best of your ability so they can actually process it, you know? And Nate had asked me, he's like, can you share parts of your story when you realized you were being gang stalked? What got you to be gang stalked initially? And I was like, that's actually a really good question because originally, dating a cop in 2019 who was on admin leave, found out he lied about why he was on admin leave. Before I even knew what targeted individuals were, before I even woke up and realized what downloads were, I had to have an interview with the state police. And I had already been suspicious of my ex shrugging me and just lying about me and even sleeping with my friends and family members behind my back. And it was one of those things that you just know you sound insane if you were to accuse somebody of that. It gets even more insane and actually just really sad discovering how I was being shrugged in under my toe with a needle, and he had shown me the needle saying that he bought steroids and never used them. And it was the way his face looked when he was showing me the needle that I'm like, and when I would wake up and be like, could barely stand up because my toe would hurt so bad, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, do I have an ingrown toenail? And I would see the look on his face and I'm like, why do I feel this way? Fast forward to when I had an interview with the state police, I didn't say any of this. After I had the interview with the state police, I found out who this person actually was, how many people he was dating, and that we all looked alike. And I remember thinking when I met his mom that my just features of mine resembled his mom, and the way that he acted, it was clear he hated women. So I'm like, okay. For me, the story gets, I almost said interesting, but it's actually detrimental. When there are people in your life who are closeted and they want to stay that way, and you catch wind of anything that they enjoy to do in private, they'll make sure that they absolutely fucking bury you to keep what they want to stay a secret to stay a secret. And where it gets just bizarre and really sad is because for years I debated if my ex was brought into my life like a handler by my family members. Because when I was in my early 20s, my brother and I were talking about an inheritance from our grandpa that we would get when we turned 30. And I told my ex about that. And after I did, it seemed like that was what sparked the sabotage. But again, people who are hiding who they really are and they have a hidden agenda, they have a gambling issue, they need to acquire large amounts of money because they like spending large amounts of money, right? It basically, all these crazy things started happening to me. Ended up just sabotaging myself with substance abuse before I knew about ritual work, just people that are disguising themselves as good people and they actually do black magic against the people that they love to destroy their life. And it's who they are in their head that they enjoy covertly destroying somebody else's life, sitting back, watching the show, and knowing that they're the puppet master. I've shared this before, but it's interesting giving a recap and being able to share these details. As I just shared that I sabotaged myself with substance abuse, working third shift, working like 80 hours a week. I was waitressing second shift, living in Maine, being from Connecticut, My stepmom kept giving me a bunch of clothes. And this was before you know what I mean? I didn't know anything about black magic. It was because of TikTok that people sharing my experience, people informed me, they're like, they were doing witchcraft. And just realizing the people that were around me, what they're really a part of, and their intentions. Finding out my dad's a Freemason, my brother in law, my ex, my uncle, all these people, what they actually do to their own family members, people in society, the gang stalking program, they drive people crazy, take life insurance policies out on them. If they know that they have an inheritance of some kind, they have to make sure that you're incompetent on paper. People are notaries. There's so many ways to falsify documents, and people just make extra money this way. That's why I always encourage everybody, again, release all fear. It not only says it in the Bible over 300 times, but I have literally been shrugged so heavily since 2019. 2021 was when things really hit the fan, and I'll go into more stories about that. But you are protected by God. Anybody that is preying on you with these bad intentions, no matter who they know, no matter who's in their pockets, whatever they're going to do ritual-wise in the physical, you are protected because you are God's chess piece. There are so many demons right now finding out in real time that they fucked up. And God's going to make sure he pulls these dark energy attachments off these people so they can really sit with what they did to you.